We're calling on grace. You're held in grace. You're made out of grace. You are divine love in human form. Everything you look at is the Creator hiding in the physical vibration, just as steam becomes water when you lower the temperature. When we lower the vibration, the Creator becomes physical. The energy of the Creator becomes physical. You are the Creator. You are everything you see, and everybody around you is part of the Creator. And may you learn to love and honor your hearts so that even this plane glimmers. You know, the people, the near-death experience, they talk about how flowers are shining with light. Everything's infused with light. The truth is, you do emit light. We just can't see it. Your scientists have proven your digestive processes, other metabolic processes cause human beings to emit light. Right. This is what people see in heaven when they cross over. We just can't see it here, but it's there. Okay. And that, I can feel it. It's like that is coming through the satsang. I mean, I can feel the power of the love coming through the satsang, because what I'm talking about is the truth of things. We just can't see it. We're playing hide and seek with the Creator. Okay. And so it is. So, I've talked about that we're changing direction a little bit. It's sort of like the path is getting straighter. It's getting more direct. Brahmasutra is being blunter and blunter with you guys, as some of you know. Just keep holding on, okay? Don't let go. Just come with the satsang. Just don't let go. Yeah. Even if there's a little bit of discomfiture, because it will become easier for you. And you'll have a bigger comprehension, and you'll understand why I'm saying at this point, just hold on. Don't disconnect. Let's keep holding hands. Yeah, okay, good. Okay, good. Good. In the old days, like when we started about 3 or 4 years ago, I used to feel like I was in a room of toddlers who were in nap time. Really, and I felt like I was going, wake up, yoo-hoo, wake up. And remember last week, I think I saw this room full of the most delightful toddlers all wiggling around, trying to stand up and learn how to walk. Okay, this is the change I'm talking about. It's from more of a snoozy way of living to a more doing one's best to live it. Now, you guys, you're all at different levels. It's like, don't worry about it. You don't have to be Superwoman or Superman. Some gigs take people on a very direct spiritual path. Other gigs in life are a little more diffuse. Like, it is totally possible to have a lifetime where you are focused on, say, paying back a parent for previous karma. So you're really devoted to this parent, and that is the work of a lifetime. So you might not even be on the spiritual journey, but you're doing good work. Or if you are on the spiritual journey, everything, the relationship with the parent is the most important. Now, this isn't common, but it's why Prema Sutta holds you in such a spacious embrace. This is not, a very narrow kind of training, but it's deep, okay? That's the thing. It's deep, and that's why it works. If you were wearing a pair of glasses, like circus glasses, like mirrored glasses, like, looking at mirrors, in the circus, or yeah, if you were wearing distorted glasses and you knew it, and you were walking along a path, just knowing that your glasses are not the truth, that they are distorting your reality of where it looks like the path is, would help you stay on the path. It would stop you from falling over or walking into the woods and getting lost. Just knowing that your glasses were a little distorted. Okay, this is really, really important, because before we go any further, I really want to spell something out. And some of you have seen it before in some of my writing. You may have even heard me say it, but just listen with your full heart. You know the story about the 10 people crossing the river. When they got to the other side, when they counted, there were only 9. Everybody took a turn and there were only 9, but they hadn't heard any cries for help and they didn't see anybody drowning, so they couldn't figure it out. But what they were doing is they were forgetting to count themselves, each person. Yeah. So we smile at this, right? We go, yeah, that's pretty deluded. That's pretty stupid, right? Okay. But look at us, especially if we're a little bit wobbly about whether we believe in the creator. If we think it's not really logical and the random universe is more logical, and that the whole creator thing is like kind of a bit flaky, or a minefield of, fairy stories that we'd like to be true. It's like wishful thinking. Wishful thinking. Okay. So I want you to look at the glasses you are wearing to see what our culture thinks is logical, and what your training, your experience growing up in this culture makes it seem normal, kind of logical in a way. Okay. So the fact that we are poisoning our food that is depleted and full of pesticides and chemical fertilizers, so that, cocoa's got arsenic in it. No, rice has arsenic. Cocoa's got lead in it. Our food is depleted to the point of it's dangerous for people. The whole, with the new cholesterol guidelines, 1 in 3 people has got dangerous cholesterol with our diets. We have this mental health crisis going on. Like, we're all going insane, basically, and it's just becoming normalized. And as I wrote, it was like becoming a bit of a gold rush, with people charging, like I was reading, $1,500 for a session. This is our normal. In fact, we know babies need nurturing. to be stable, loving, and intelligent adults. And look what we do. The babies are at the bottom of the list. We might decorate our nursery rather than hold our baby, even though we know that the babies need holding and great attention, especially the first 2 years. And really, kids need very sort of stable, loving, playful situations 0 to 6. If we want stable, happy adults, intelligence adults, we ignore this to an extreme. This is our logical, you guys. This is our norm. We've got billionaires, and we're turning to them for wisdom. So they're saying, you know, one particular is talking about the stupidity of empathy. Okay, there's great dissing of the gentler values of the feminine, you know, like I talk about. We can't, if we devalue the feminine, we're screwed. So this is, I feel like, you know, slaves who are being treated badly, turning around and celebrating their cruel masters because everybody's getting poor. The billionaires are getting richer. This is our normal. Okay, so, you know, think about any ambivalence about whether God exists, okay? And think that maybe it's coming from these very distorted glasses where we've been, what's celebrated is alienation. And now we've got AI, and people are doing therapy with AI, which will just bond them to alienation. It will bond them to their intellects. Okay, so I really want to spell this out, you guys. And this is why this work is getting more direct and blunt. Now, I know it's not easy to take care of your awakening consciousness in this world, but the Creator is so there for us that you have to prove it to yourself. I can say it, but it won't be until you experience it for yourselves that you will come into kind of a immortal strength that happens. Okay, that is the immortal strength that happens in seekers. There was a guy I read about. He's totally a self-realized guy, and you know me and the names, and especially Indian names. But anyway, so he, you know, in the 70s or so, he headed to India, and it was a very dangerous time. And in this, you know, book he wrote, it was like he, you know, they had hardly any money, and he was almost murdered like several times by people who'd promised to help in some of these rough countries that were really rough back then on his way to India. And every time he got out of it, like he was basically just saved by like some random event or whatever. And it is like that. If you're really sincere, you just get saved. And if you're like wobbly, you know, you get that feedback. You will get kind of a wobbly help. Most times, in my experience, most times, although, you know, maybe the universe might be wanting to re-educate you, so it might give you a tremendous experience of divine love. But this is the problem with some of you having trouble with your faith because you're so wobbly. You don't really trust it. So you don't get the proof that the Creator's there. I just want you to see this. And it's not a fault, but if you just like, hey, maybe this is me that she's talking about. We all go through ambivalent times, and sometimes you might have 5 years of not being knowing for sure, and then you just keep going, and your faith gets stronger, and you get more and more proof that the creator exists. But every time, you guys, when you're going through the ego, it will feel like, is it going to work this time? Really? It always feels a little, uncertain. And you guys, when you feel in your body, you can feel like this stress that happens with bumping up to a higher vibration. It's hard on our psyches to go up. It is hard. It's stressful. You will feel edgy physically. Yeah. You'll feel insecure, feel tense. Notice these physical feelings, you see, because if you can notice them, it just becomes part of your data. You just go, okay, this is what it's like. I'm in a growth phase. There's somebody I know who says that she always feels like her skin is being rubbed by sandpaper. I want to spell this out, and then I want to tell you what the solution is. Okay, so one dear one was talking about, she was making a shift, and she talked about how her body just felt incredibly itchy, but she didn't know she was making a shift. She just had been feeling really trusting, and then suddenly her body felt really itchy. She's really uncomfortable. It's like the ego's going, no, 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 you can't do it. No, don't do this. This is how it happens, you guys. This is what the ego will do. And do you know what she did? She started stroking her arms. She brought love to herself. She just instinctively stroked her arms, and the itchiness left. This is solved through self-love, self-nurturing, taking care of your human vessel, soothing yourself, consoling yourself. And she just did it instinctively. That is how close the creator is, you guys. It's like we could miss it if we don't take that step to soothe yourself, to help yourself. And she just did it instinctively. She wasn't going, oh, what should I do to help myself? Although sometimes we need to do that. She just did it instinctively. Right. It's that stuff, what we do instinctively. Like I just instinctively, before I knew Amma, I would imagine angels hugging me all the time. Whatever comes to you will be the right thing. But I'll tell you, love is just waiting there to be allowed into your psyches and your bodies. It's just waiting there. But please understand that you guys need a re-education in how to live your lives. You can't just keep doing what you've always done and expect anything to be different. That's it. I can feel some energies coming to you guys. It's kind of like it's funny. It's almost as if maybe you're going to have permission to feel more of your feelings and to feel more of your emotions. Yeah, because it's the learning to feel what you feel and be with your emotions and just be with them without repression, giving them over maybe, but not running from them, because they have important data for you. They are bringing gifts. And when you feel it, you receive the gift. So if you experience anger, feel it, do what you do. I don't know, movement, journal, whatever. If you feel anger right to the end, you get love. You will tap into love. You will tap into divine love. If you feel sorrow right to the end, you tap into divine love. It's where we're hidden. Remember last week we were talking about the sparkly soul, which was like, just like one of those Halloween sparklers, like sparkling, sparkling, sparkling. And then our having to deal with the collective. It was like a cord, like a black cord. Think of it, yeah, something that carries electricity, maybe. And we're trying to connect the two. Okay, I want to tell you the importance of this and how crucial it is for you to make room for the sparkler of your soul. If you want to function in the collective well, even though we might feel that it's safer to kind of wall your deep truth off to function in the collective, it's actually the opposite. If you take the time to make room in your heart for this soul energy and put up with a little bit of discomfiture, the ego screaming, your outside world will go softer with you. It sounds counterintuitive, but it's true. So I'll tell you what I'd experienced over and over again. If I was like struggling, dealing with some ego material and not feeling good at all, but really seeing darkness within and struggling, and I went outside, I would just get validated. People would be so nice to me, hold doors. I mean, it would be so soft. Okay. And other times where I'd go out and I'd feel like, oh, I won a victory, something in the world had happened, some good thing. And I'd like, oh, I'm okay, I get it. And I promptly like go outside and I get the door slammed in my face. It would just be almost like inevitable. It is safer to face your darkness on the inside, because then you have some control of what happens on the outside, and certainly you have control of your attitude to things. And if you know at least theoretically that everything that happens is happening for your greater good to teach you, you will not fight it. You will just embrace it and be able to flow with it more and have a much easier time. Okay, but I have a little story to tell you about the importance of listening to the heart. So this is years ago here in Canada. There was a couple who spent thousands and thousands on in utero, fertilization. They couldn't have children. It didn't work. And it went on for years. And, so they kept trying. And nothing happened. And it went on for years, you guys. And what they finally figured out, and they followed all the rules. And, at the ovulation time, they were at it like, rabbits, Okay, nothing worked. Okay, the truth of it is what came out finally after it was all too late. They'd sort of given up. trying was she ovulated unusually late in her cycle. Okay. Okay, do you get it? So the mechanistic collective information that tried and true from science and everything said, okay, get together at this time of the month. But the truth was she ovulated later. So it was never going to work. Okay, you guys. Well, obviously they weren't meant to have children. Okay, that's the bigger truth. Because if they were meant to, they would have. But the other thing that's just screamingly obvious, they didn't listen to the still small voice within. Do you see? That might have said, hey, try it tonight. Or even without the still small voice, they would have maybe felt the desire at this time that was not the usual time and followed through with it. And maybe they did feel the desire, but then said, oh, it's not the time, so who, not gonna. Do you see? So our soul keeps trying to get through to us. And we really have to watch what glasses we're wearing, because the glasses we're wearing can stop us from listening or hearing the secrets, the secret information, the keys to our life. I'm seeing a golden key being offered and transmitted. And they missed the key. Okay, you guys, this is our normal, okay? The other thing I want to say about the way our culture looks at things is there is this great emphasis on cholesterol. And they've brought out these even more stringent things. But the truth of it is, like, if you look at the figures, it's like a huge percentage of the people actually having heart attacks don't have high cholesterol. It's like when I went in for breast cancer and I said, oh, this is so weird. Nobody in my family's had breast cancer. I don't drink. I don't eat like a lot of cheese or anything. And the doctor said, yeah, most cases of breast cancer, those things aren't being done. They're not the reason in most cases. You see, you guys, we are not seeing straight. Right. I want you to realize this. And, okay, I'm going in to really highlight something that I feel is behind this distortion in our worldview. Is Amma talks about on a painting with a mosaic of white strokes and incredible detail in the white strokes and a black spot that we'll just look and we'll see the black spot. We'll miss the subtleties of the white. This is what we do. We look for the black spot to fix. You guys do this personally to yourselves and to the other people around you. We do it to everything. We do it to in our health, and science is doing, oh yeah, I missed the heart of the whole cholesterol thing. All this is the whole focus on cholesterol is to try to do something about heart attacks. Okay, you guys, right now, the universe is asking us to come into our hearts. I suspect that overall, the thing with heart attacks, that the people, the one, there's no proof for this, okay? But the one thing that Prema Sutta thinks is will be behind them, they're being too outward focused. They've lost allegiance. They've lost track of the inner data. They're too focused on the outer, and they're being stopped by their soul, like stop. And one of the symptoms that happens after heart attacks is a depression afterwards. There's always a depression after. Well, yeah, because the person's going from the outside to the inside, and when you're ill-equipped, the first the way it transmits is depression. The more equipped you get to learn to look inside, the less often you'll get depressed. So this is how backwards we're doing things. We miss the heart of the truth underlying these medical things that are happening. And we try to fix it on the outside. Right. Okay. Good. Good. I can feel as a group, you're really sick of this. You're really sick of trying to fix things from the outside. This is why I'm seeing you all squirming around and beginning to stand and walk. Right. This is really, really good. You know, the level that, you know, that this energy is coming through in this satsang is just off the charts. It's really, really good. That's it. You are so loved just as you are. Okay, I'm going to go back to cholesterol. You guys, my cholesterol dropped 2 points in 6 weeks because 3 times in this 6 weeks, I ate 6 cups of oatmeal for 2 days. I came across a study saying that if you did that, it reduces cholesterol by 10%. I did it 3 times. My cholesterol dropped like 2.1. Like it was massive drop in 6 weeks. It's all considered impossible, you know. The other thing, you know, you're getting this health stuff. I have inflammation in my gum, and I was promoted to use these expensive mouthwashes that actually make your teeth yellow. And I tried them, they didn't work. Neither one of them worked. And so I went, oh, I'm just going to do salt and water, warm salt and water. It works. It works totally. I do it once a day. Problem gone. Like it's like coming back to the simplicity of the heart in everything. And I'm not saying to diss modern science. It's fantastic what we're doing. I mean, it's fantastic. But you see, if we're looking through distorted glasses, we're going to make science, medicine will get increasingly complicated and ineffective. So there's a woman I know in this building who had back trouble. She went to the doctor. There were all these tests that had to happen. She was going to have to wait some months for them. And the doctor was talking about like even operations and everything. And I said to her, just get an infrared mat that you lie on and lie on it every day and see if it helps. And actually she's poor, so I bought her one. Like she's really poor. So I mean, they were just like, it was $50. It was very little. So there was love in it too. And her back is giving her no problem at all. She has no back pain. She does it every day. Back pain's gone. Now, it could be placebo, or it could be that just she allowed the love to come to her. And maybe the love stopped her from feeling so burdened. You know, back is the burden. I'm not telling you to dismiss what the doctors are doing at all. It's fantastic what they're doing. What I'm wanting is for you guys to stay connected, to have a deeper relationship with your souls, with this sparkle inside. That's all I'm wanting with all this data. You know, all these things just work for Prema Sutta. I don't know, but, you know, the reason even I saw this study about oatmeal is because Prema Sutta is true to herself. So I saw the oatmeal study, you know, and then did it and it worked. I'm losing you a little bit. And some of you wall off when I speak about myself, like you just do this visceral, and it's like, there is no other way to tell you this except to go, everything is one. You're the creator. Okay, is that helpful? If you feel antsy when I go into talking about me personally, you know what Prema Sutta thinks it is? It's because you are, and I say this with great respect, and I'm not criticizing you guys, but consider that perhaps your ego is blinding you from seeing your own soul. And so when Prema Sutta speaks, it feels egomaniacal to you. I mean, just consider that that might be a possibility. Right. Good. Good. Some of you are looking clearer. You actually look like you just got the ability to see farther than you have. I also want to talk about what the spiritual journey really is. So spiritual practices are key. So when you do them, please understand that the point of them is to create more silence. So not to force silence, but for, it's like as the ego gets smaller, the mind chatter gets less. So if on with focusing on meditation, if you notice the silence between the words and focus on that, the silence between the thoughts, and know that that's where you're wanting to go. It isn't just forcing yourself to sit for 30 minutes. That you're wanting that silence, to make room for that silence so it can get bigger. You're wanting to fertilize it, love it, know that it's welcome. Some seekers think the form, the sitting, is everything, and it's not. It's important to do it, but it is the silence that you're wanting. And the other thing is, as Amma talks about, it's to be loving and serve humanity. So I want to celebrate Richard because he had a conflict with his roommate about his spending time with his partner. And he didn't want to lose the relationship. The relationship was important enough to him that he wanted to see if it could be resolved. I remember when he raised it, I said to him that the roommate would end up having an opening as a result of it. But he got pushback about not, about trying to save the relationship. But he just felt that, it felt in his heart to do it. And it worked out beautifully. The woman, she let go of him in the best way and was healed through his love, of just that he cared, of his love that he put up, that he talked with her, and she didn't want to work it out with a mediator. So he patiently worked, until it resolved in this beautiful way. That is exactly what Prema Sutta is talking about. That is incredibly accelerating to do. It shares the love. It gives another person a physical, emotional, spiritual, intellectual experience of unconditional love. That's it. And at the same time, you guys, there are cases where, where the person, if they didn't want to get it and they didn't want to see their own, heal their own issues with abandonment, they would never get the shift. And it's important to be able then to cut the cord, to just cut it, to just walk away, really. So both things are necessary. And you have to let your heart inform you about what's true. But it's that, like, you guys, because you know what we do with our culture, we turn spirituality into an achievement thing, and we say, okay, I meditate this, I do this and this and this, I do this and this and this, I do this and this and this. And it's like sometimes we just miss the obvious of how are we with other people? How devoted are we to our friends? Really? It is a sharing of love, you guys. Not getting, what we do. I mean, I told another dear one that, what we don't share, you could sit in satsang, you could get incredible knowledge in a way. And you could read all the Vedas and the Bible and the Quran and all of it. And if you're not sharing love in your life, if you're not sharing your knowledge and unconditional love in your life, all that knowledge that you thought was knowledge remains pseudo knowledge, and it disappears the first time you need it. At the first challenge, it will all have disappeared, and you'll go, where was my faith in God? What happened? The more you live it, the more you got it. And if you're not living it, it can disappear. Yeah. Like, I have such compassion for all of us, you guys. It's like we're wearing these distorted glasses. We're trying to, we're trying to, I mean, we're sincerely trying on the journey, but we're just like, we have to see the truth of things. And then when you do, you can come into a wonderful self-acceptance of your bumblings and like, yeah, this is what we're like. I blew it again. I did the same thing again. Yeah. We're working really, really deeply, you guys. There's really, really deep things that are that are, it's like in a river. It's like eventually they'll just be washed away, but it's like a river. And the river bangs up against the obstacle and bangs up, and then finally the obstacle is dealt with by the water. It just gets solved. It's the same thing with us. Our resistances will bang up against them. Keep taking it to the Creator. You love and honor yourselves for having the courage to face this stuff, to be uncomfortable, to try your best. And if you're sincere, you get brought. to a new understanding. You see, you guys are so precious in your humanity. It is the only place you can do your journey from this precious, precious humanity. Right. Who knew? Who knew that you were precious just for being a human being alive today? In more precious than precious. You know, when you look around, please understand, everybody's God. Everybody, in every body you see is the universe. In every body you see is a wealth of past lives that have been lived and a whole other universes going on in them and dimensions of experience. And we think we're just these miserable sinner of a human being. It's just like, oh my goodness. Right. So you see, this is what I know about all of you, that you're God in human form, the universe is inside you. You emit light. You are a sun. You are made up of stardust from stars that exploded billions of years ago. This is what helps us see clearly. As we come into this bigger understanding, we start seeing more clearly. Some of you are so tired. We get really tired on the journey sometimes. We get really, really exhausted with our efforts to evolve. And that's really, really good, because when that happens, you're actually surrendering. You cannot, the ego just cannot keep doing it. You are in a surrender, but it won't feel like it. It'll just feel awful. Or it might just feel awful. I'm seeing some of you trying to comfort yourselves. I know somebody who used to repeat poetry to herself. She didn't know a spiritual teacher. She never studied with a teacher, but she would repeat poetry to herself when her thoughts were difficult. It was like doing a mantra. It's the same principle of keeping a mantra or focusing on your breath, just having another point of focus for your minds. I almost feel like that when the light really starts to dawn in you guys, it's going to feel kind of explosive in the best way. It's going to be like almost a feeling as if the impossible is happening. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And the key to this explosive kind of celebration will come by you staying at the door of your hearts, being open, knocking on the door of the Creator, standing at your heart, taking care of any glimmer that comes. That's it. Any glimmer. You guys, evolution can be very uncomfortable, but the more you just take care of yourselves, like soothe yourselves in good way, do things to help yourself. Listening to satsangs, do, near-death experience, whatever makes you feel better. And know that this is exactly the same path that, the same stuff that Premasutta walked through too. It's not like you're separate. This is what it's like sometimes on the journey. And I'm not to celebrate darkness, but some of you, when stuff gets uncomfortable, you back off. You go, oh, I'm doing it wrong, and you kind of disconnect. That won't get you anywhere. Yeah, you're getting OD'd. I mean, understandably. You know, this change of direction is going to bring more access to light if you walk it yourselves too. Come to satsang and walk it yourselves as well. Let the satsangs change you. Listen to the information. Let it change you. Honor yourselves. I'm feeling that really, really important. That's actually the heart of what Brahma Sutta is saying today. Honor yourself. Honor your experience. There is no error at all. Oh yeah, you so want to get this. You so want to get this, and yet it's the hardest thing for many of you here. Honor yourselves. Yeah. Yeah, you guys, you know, this is what you're going to have to just sort of go through as you learn how to walk. Because to walk the journey, you have to get over this anger at your souls that some of you are running. Coming from your early childhood. And it takes time. But there's nothing wrong with you. And everything that you've gone through was set up to free you. The reason we hold onto the anger at ourselves that's operating underneath, you know, that makes you feel like separate and incompetent spiritually, and is because we look at the black spot, you guys, instead of seeing the whole picture. Okay, you can get this. I can feel it. You're stepping back. This is really good. You're stepping back more into your hearts. You're stepping back from your experience more into your hearts. It's like, you know, if the little kid, you know, a little kid's having a temper tantrum, but a loving mom knows all the reasons why. So maybe she doesn't like fight with the kid, which I see parents do. And I'm like, oh, please don't do that. And you guys, again, I'm coming back to my experience because I'm giving you a big clue. I used to pick each child up on each hip, and they would be like 30 pounds each. And we would walk happily. They did not have tantrums. My kids did not have tantrums, actually, because I touched them so much. Really. I picked them up and would make faces or, you know, distract them out of it. But it is the same thing that I do with you guys. I pick you up on each hip and hold you and speak so carefully and deeply to you to help you see your worth, feel the creator in you. Yeah. It's just Brahma Sutta's way. Right. And as this work is getting more loving, I am getting clear to you when you contact me. I'm being clear with you about the steps you need to take. All love. And the creator, Amma, will lift you through those steps. You just have to head in that direction. Amma lifts you. I actually think this is part of why this Brahma Sutta's approach upsets some people, is because it just is this, like holding you really closely, like kids close to my heart, speaking to you. Right. I think this is what actually really helps. It is, look what Amma does. It is what helped me. I'm just trying to like share it. Right. And yet at the same time, you guys, as with this work is becoming bigger, I'm getting clearer about the steps you need to take. So like, take them to heart and pray, and you will move forward, because this love is always coming to help you take these steps. Just as, scientists will say the solution is within the problem. If an authentic teacher gives you a directive, her energy is, and beyond her energy, the creator energy will be totally devoted to help you make that shift. You're not like being hung out to dry or being left alone. But this is the journey. It's like you have to walk it. It's like the plant has to sprout itself. All the sweet words in the world. I mean, you can love a plant, you can provide, a seed, you can give everything to that seed, and some just don't sprout. But most will. You know what you say? You just go, I'm sprouting. Just do that. You just go through your day. I'm sprouting. Just go, I'm sprouting. Really, this is what works. I'm sprouting. This is the kind of thing I did. Okay, I'm sprouting. Just do your best with it, whatever works for you. We've all got different ways, but I just, you guys, we are not well bonded to our moms. So really, a really loving feminine energy is just, we're not used to it. And lots of times we don't know how to even hold it in our bodies. But the Creator knows how to help us. Every time we think of Amma, she's there. And remember, it's just a little bit of an edgier walk while we make this transition to this more loving way of going forward. And I hope all of you stay with me, stay with this process. Give it the benefit of the doubt. Just keep seeing, look at the results. Look at the results. See if it's worth it. Just before, you know what, everybody wants to become non-attached enough to witness their experience. So when you witness your experience, you guys, you basically know that you are walking around in your own injured child energy. You know that you are an adult who is functioning at the level of your injured child. And you walk forward and you're wanting to bring in love. You're praying, you walk forward, you're wanting to express, the Creator in everything you do. And you witness the result. Over and over again, you will go side to side. You will witness an expansion, and you'll go, oh, this is so great. And then you will experience a contraction. Now, the importance is when you're in a contraction that you notice it. Don't run from it. Be with it. Contemplate it. See if there's information coming to you about your childhood, or just information about why you're in contraction. And gradually you get brought out of contraction and you will move into expansion. So the person who is conscious just lives that way. That is their seat of gravity. That's their center of gravity. Just living that way without any idea of what the outcome of their lives are going to be. And this is the thing we have trouble with. We want an outcome. We want to say, okay, in 20 years, I'll be there. No, if you want to go conscious, you can't do that. You just step forward and be true to yourself and notice. Now, you can only do it when you're ready, and it takes time to be ready, so don't rush it. Don't rush it. And you're okay the way you are. You are not to be criticized or judged. It can often take 6 years to get to this. Often. It depends how much baggage we're carrying and how much we want it. Some people come in with very little to clear and they can move very quickly. Other people are moving mountains, and it is tremendously beneficial to the collective if you've got a lot of guck and you step up for the journey. The impact on the collective in a good way is enormous. I think you should just let yourselves be kids playing around, learning how to stand up and walk, and just take the heat off. Just take the heat off, you guys. Yeah, yeah. And I'm feeling like as if let this energy of celebrating you come in, celebrating you for just even anything you do on this journey. It's like it is immensely valuable. And it's simple in a way. Remember, if you look at near-death experiences, they talk about the most important thing was that they, bought hamburgers, 3 hamburgers for a homeless person one time, or showed, or filled, paid for somebody's gas. Just did something that they didn't even think of much, but it was the most important thing they did their whole lifetime. It's that, you guys. That is the truth. Nobody's measuring your spiritual progress under a microscope, you guys. Nobody's doing it but you. And if you're feeling really bad about yourself and you walk past a homeless person when your soul's go to and get them 3 burgers, you're missing the chance. Yeah, please don't do that. My words are not helping at this point. it is time for Pramasuda to the pit. You're so dear. Has anybody got any questions or comments or remember in these weeks there's going to be this change of direction. There's going to be a deep kind of clearing going on. It's just going to be done by something beyond you, beyond us. Well, it's funny, I can't, there's no words to reach you, but may you feel the light and the love that you're made from. May it get easier and easier. I just can't stop myself. You guys, when you when you make a shift into truth, say like Richard helping or being so careful with his roommate, or bringing a homeless person to burgers, assuming the NW is like next door, right, close, but uh, understand that when you follow your heart, your spiritual goals come true as a byproduct. They come true as a result. It's like sort of now for something completely different comes in through the window. It's like you keep doing these loving things and you will find that some of your spiritual goals that you might have been struggling with for a while, they're coming true. You're seeing signs of spring, or they may suddenly happen. But it's not to go, have following through with your heart as the new technique, the new, that if the linear mind gets hold of this from the heart stuff, like it will backfire. It won't work. You have to do it like the instinctive, like a child. Just in the minute you do something, you make a decision. You just do this. Richard made a decision to take special care with his roommate. It's that. You just make the decision. Pramasuda made the decision to do satsangs. You make these decisions to follow your heart, and then the results you could not have. It'll be better than you hoped. Takes time. I really am going to stop talking. Last call for.
Can I say something?
Yeah. Who's that?
It's Pratibha.
Yeah, Pratibha.
I'm just hoping that I'm not too premature on this. And I'm gonna get upset because I've been upset for 2 days. I'm really upset about the fires. Like they're really to the core of my being. I'm very upset about the fires and how bad they are. And I think part of it is because I feel so close to Mother Nature now. And yesterday, I prayed really hard that the fire would stop in Summerland. And I woke up this morning and it said it was the fastest growing fire they'd ever seen. And it stopped. It stopped. It's delayed. It stopped growing. And there's no real excuse for it. They didn't say anything about wind. They didn't say anything. And so and I hope that this continues, but I feel that it is about the power of prayer.
Yeah, right. Power of prayer. Yeah. And, letting ourselves feel deeply, letting ourselves feel deeply enough clears the pathway to the creator, to Amma, to this unconditional love. And so, yeah, our prayers have power. When you really care really deeply, your prayers are just hugely invincible.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Just keep listening after this too, Pratibha saying, listen if for any more information coming to you from your soul about the whole meaning of this for you and just everything. Just, sometimes when we tell Pramasuda, we tell somebody else that packages and box it and that solves it. And don't do that.
Yeah, it has been an ongoing. Summerland is a very special place for me. It's where
Yeah.
Jack spent most of his childhood, right? In the summers.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but I'm noticing that it's like I feel that it's for me in a way, like to oh, it just feels a little tailor-made is what I'm saying, I guess. In a lot of different ways. To kind of wake me up.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And that's what I'm saying to you. Allow this awakening, like, yeah. Yeah. Use it to the best. Like, yeah. Right. Like, may your opening to it be increased by the fact that you've spoken about it in satsang.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep again last night, so I knew when I woke up this
Yeah.
morning, there's this really huge, and I knew I would have to speak about it.
Yeah. It is like that. I remember when I was 8, by the time I was 8, I had stopped crying for the poor kids. When you saw on the TV pictures of starving Africans. And then as I woke up, I started crying again.
Yeah.
Yeah, you feel it again. You become the little child within. You have more
Yeah.
of that. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, please hear me, you guys. Do you know, please just get how loved you are, please. Could you please just, no matter what you're doing, or whether if you can't feel sorrow for people, or you're totally numb to hearing stories about trouble, just put your arms around yourselves. It's okay. It's okay. It's all okay. Really. Please. Please. Yeah, please. Anything you're going through, it's all okay. And don't judge your progress harshly, please. That's it, please. The Creator never does. I'm holding you all the time. I mean, you have Amma, but just hearing, I'm holding you all the time. Yeah, right, right. And from a deep understanding of what this journey's like. Oh, here we go. Bye, you guys.